Hey everybody, look, it's me, and I got a little banner around just to kind of, yeah, so let's get back to where we were. Hey gamer. How's it going, gamer? I gotta invite people to watch because I'm streaming on the, yeah. We'll share. No, I don't want to share to group. Oh, copy link. That works. Let me tag some fuckers. Now, mind you, I know you're in the chat, Kevin. You're only mod for Twitch, which is fine because that's where it's the hardest. Yeah. YouTube and Facebook. Oh. All right. All right. Now where was I? Oh, it's already up. Hey, there you go. That's fine though, Colin, because I can do this. I know. And you see both sides. I know. I know. I'm wondering about if I should just go with StreamYard and be to hell with it, because then I can upload videos and stuff, small videos. Here, let me. Now I can do this. I can put that right there. Well, I'm glad you chose YouTube. So, NXT, I love NXT, but the problem I'm having with it is Indy Hartwell just proposed to Dexter Lumis, and I don't think that motherfucker said word one since he got here. So, I don't know. I'm just I just want to get the movie made, you know. And I had to do this because on the phone is all sorts of why? Well, we'll see, won't we? Huh? What do you mean? The chat. They might. I don't like using Twitch. Whatever. What, are you going to go to YouTube? Yeah. All right. I just asked. And I know I am going to get some crap because I'm streaming right now, but I'm here. Wait, you know what? Hold on. I also hate the fact that I'm going to have to watch okay. Why, hello, sir. I might be having the director of photography come on, and we'll talk about the movie. Let's see if I can get him on. I'll get rid of this goddamn overlay. This looks like shit. There we go. That's better. Not if you are non-union. And we are requesting that everyone be vaccinated. And even then, if I'm in close with an actor, I'm going to have a mask on. Because I ain't fucking around. I mean, if I'm around one person and I know who they are, I'll be all right. But I'm not going to. I should probably get my headset ready. Because he said he is. My director of photography is coming on, so. We're just trying to make an amazing movie, and oh, by the way, for fans of Uncle Ron's Drive-In, there will be no drive-in this week. I'm still recovering. Like I'm not even like I streamed a couple of days on Twitch, and I know I'm there now, but I'm kind of like I don't have it in me to get up and do the whole rigmarole and entertain. This is just me fundraising at this point, trying to get some money for the movie, essentially. You know, so. Hey Bex, how's it going? All of Threads does that. All of the movie Threads. How are you doing, my dear? Are you doing okay? You doing good? If you watch the movie Threads, it will. Okay, I don't know if Colin's still here. Colin watched it, said it didn't bother him, but Colin's some weird guy. He's Canadian, so who knows? It looks like we're going to be having the DP, editor, and producers on in just a minute to talk about Becoming Undead 3. And yeah, see, maybe because I grew up in the age of... I was in there for a second. That chat gets too busy for me to like follow what's going on. I mean, you got to admit though, they made it very realistic. They made it very, very realistic. It's just super disturbing. And the thing about it is it's not like one of those movies where you see the post-apocalyptic stuff and it's like, I don't want to call it glamorized because Mad Max, there's nothing glamorous about Mad Max. But it does seem like it's something like, you know what, maybe I could survive that. You watch Threads, you're like, yep, I'm done. Because it's the realistic way of things happening. So, and I like the one sequence where the chick pisses herself. When she sees the mushroom cloud. Because when you see the mushroom cloud, you know it's your ass. You know it's your ass. But we don't know how bad they were. You know, so that's the problem. Because you know that this is between the States and Russia. You knew it was. And how did you surprise her, Bex? Were you naughty? I'm just waiting for them. It'll just be a minute. Hey, I don't know if it's on any streaming services, but it's there. It's out there in the ether. In fact, it might. Let me see. Yeah, it's on. Let me do this. Make sure that they're not here. Okay, hold on. Looks like it's free on YouTube. So, but let's see here. No. That's the one. All right, tell me if you guys can't hear it. Can you guys hear it?
The United States government has been forced, reluctantly, to take action to safeguard what it believes are legitimate Western interests in the Middle East. are confident that the Soviet Union will take note of our resolve and will desist from its present perilous course of action.
There is growing evidence overnight from scientists and observers in many countries that there have been 2 nuclear explosions in the Middle East.
In response to today's news of the outbreak of hostilities between vessels of the United States and Soviet navies,
the Ministry of Defense has announced it's sending more troops to Europe to reinforce the British commitment to NATO.
This time, they are playing with, at best, the destruction of life as we know it, and at worst, total annihilation. You cannot win a nuclear war!
She's right.
the time has now come to make everything ready for you and your family in case an air attack happens. When you hear the attack warning,
All right,
your family must take cover at once.
All right, we're gonna stop that because we have somebody here.
Oh no!
What's going
Who's
on,
that
buddy?
somebody?
I don't know.
How's it going?
I'll let you know when he shows up.
Oh, okay, cool. Hopefully it's someone cool.
Now, isn't this like really cool, StreamYard?
This, I guess, yeah. This is my first time.
It's like it's streaming and it's like on Zoom. It's super easy to log in.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah,
I've never used this.
Yeah. So this is Mike Detterman. He is the what are you again? Director of photography?
Sure, we'll call it that. Yeah, DP.
Well, yeah, well, I try not to say DP because there are those people who are like DP.
No, I get it. I understand the joke. I just, yeah.
And that's how you pay.
I'm gonna let it drop. I'm gonna let that drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joke drop.
Yes. But so now what? Okay, let me ask you this because we're trying to fund this movie. We're trying to get this thing made. It's already put me in the hospital already, before we haven't even started production. What about this project? And I'm telling people when people ask me what the movie is essentially, because the people who've seen the first two kind of know that they're in for something unusual. Okay, would you agree to that? It doesn't have it's not your traditional zombie picture by any stretch of the imagination.
I'd agree 100%. The story's a little bit different.
Yeah, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's the Searchers with the undead.
Yeah, I would give you that one.
If you take not
with the undead.
not the way the film looked, but like the tone of, like, you know how in the film, I'm just saying this in the film. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but if you haven't seen The Searchers, John Wayne's looking for Natalie Wood because he feels she's become I don't want to say the word corrupted, but she's kind of become symbiotic to the Native Americans, and he sees them as savages. And so he goes to hunt her down to kill her because there's no bringing her back type thing.
Yeah.
But then at the end, what happens? So essentially, the story, and this is all I'm going to say. Tell me if you think I'm saying too much. The story revolves around a man looking for someone, and you see what happens at the end. So it's a big hunt, essentially.
It's a hunt. I agree with you. I think that's probably the best way. I'm going to keep moving. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
It feels like I'm on the phone, which I am, and I just want to keep moving instead of like sitting down.
So we're not only on YouTube, we're also on Facebook and Twitch.
Perfect. So people can just see me, just rambling.
They can see you with your grandma glasses.
My grandma glasses?
Yeah,
no, they've got blue light filter for when you're on a monitor because that blue light just kills my eyes.
Yeah, I've been getting headaches and stuff, but then I also, I have probably the other issue, but that's besides the point. So what was it about this project that you wanted to really kind of like, because this is the one you've been pushing for me to make for a while?
For a while, I like the story because it's simple, but yet it's very powerful. And we'll just kind of leave it at that because I don't want to give anything away, but I think that it's a nice ending to the trilogy. And I also, when we had talked about it, God, it was like 4 or 5 years ago already. It's been a while.
Right.
I know the story has had many different changes, but the core of it is primarily the same.
Right.
And I don't know. I would just gravitate towards it because it's a good story. I'm not a huge gore fan. I'm not a huge things like that. I like if it's an artistic piece or if it makes sense. Ooh, it looks like we have another person coming. Is that someone else here?
That's David. That's the important person. I'm just so this is Mike Detterman with the grandma glasses. He's the DP/producer, and this is David Haight, who's the editor/producer. So now, David, what brought you into the project? I'm trying to get people to donate. Damn it!
Well, it'd be nice if we had money to buy donuts. So that would be great.
Yeah, I'd like some donuts.
No, mainly, I guess.
I can't hear. Can you hear him?
I can't hear him at all.
No, he probably has to unmute his microphone.
Yeah. It was actually really easy to use the phone, Dave. So if you end up using the phone, if you can hear me. But the main reason for the budget is for gear. It's for gear to make sure that we have the gear that could film this properly. And that's the main thing.
I hear something.
Yeah, I can hear him. I can hear him clicking too. Yeah, we can.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, this is a visual media, but we have no video.
Unfortunately, as Mike knows, I don't have the thing.
That's what I was saying. You should use.
You don't have a face. You like face off.
I have no face.
No, he has no face.
Yeah, it's more of the off face thing. I've only got 15% on my phone. I've only got one charger that works, and it's very short, unfortunately.
That's what she said. Hey-o.
I wasn't gonna get that joke, but I let you do it.
Short, but kind of wide.
Hey, it may be short, but it's like a tuna can. But yeah, so Mike was talking about what brought him into the project. What brought you in? Because I want people to really kind of get the gist of. I explained it earlier that it's fair to say it's the Searchers with zombies. Yep. And yeah, so that's the way I'm selling it to people. And I had one friend of mine say, "Oh, it's the third movie in a trilogy, and it's a Western." That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, why not? It's kind of like Back to the Future, right?
Exactly. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I like part 2 more than part 3.
You know what? I really enjoy part 3. I just like that Biff's great-great-grandpa is just a jerk. And it's magical. When he
that
gets
whole
his
family whole family are a bunch of dicks.
Yeah. When Marty McFly eats the rabbit and he gets a piece of shotgun blast in there, I'm like, oh yeah, that's how you know there's flavor.
So what brought you into the project there, Mr. McFly?
Well, I liked working with you on For Sale, and I like your ideas, so I wanted to keep going on with more of those good ideas.
I appreciate that. I'm and we have Tony Ramos on as a location scout, and if we're using that first spot he found, let's just be very transparent, because the people who made the Friday the 13th game, I'm sure you're aware of the game, even if you haven't played it.
I am aware of the game. Okay,
well, it was amazing until the lawsuit fucked everything up. Fuck you, Victor Miller. He's not dead. I'm just, but uh-oh, I'm about to get yelled at because I'm streaming, but I don't care. I'm not up and okay, good. It's not him. Okay, good. Sorry. I told people I wouldn't stream, but I'm not playing video games and I'm not trying to entertain. And I'm on the fucking couch. Now I forgot. Oh, the location. But anyway, so with the video game, basically what's going on is they're being very transparent from the word go, because they're trying to get the license for the movie The Crow to make a video game. And they're being very transparent about it. And I kind of want to be transparent about it because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are into film and they want to know what's going on. And why don't we just, don't give away plot points and stuff, but just be transparent about certain things. Like, I know I'm a little concerned about the location, in that I'm wondering if we're going to run into an issue with, what do you call it? Like the people who own the place.
Oh, it's fine. We'll work out all the details on that. But the thing is that mainly looking at everything, and anybody that's like a fan of film, the location is a character itself.
Right.
So making sure that that has depth and that has feel and that can give across the tone that we're trying to get, it's very important, and that's what we're looking for, and that's what we have. We have a couple different options at this point. We're working out the details with the people that own the locations, so we can utilize those for this film.
I mean, we're not going inside at all, so I don't know why they'd have a problem with it.
No, the thing is that it's decrepit, torn down, older places that look very industrial, to kind of show, an apocalypse has happened, to kind of take us out of the real world and put us into that environment, which is good. We were debating at first doing it in the woods to kind of keep things that way, but the thing is, when you're dealing with woods and when you're dealing with exteriors like that, when you have grass or anything that grows, you have to make sure that it hasn't been recently mowed. You have all these things that people could instantly tell that it's a film made now and not well. So we want to make sure that we kind of take people out and put them in an environment where it's kind of isolated, and you almost, to a certain extent, you have that, the decay of society and the decay of the buildings, bringing up everything. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point.
So. No, it all makes sense. It all makes sense because there's a lot of, like, the original place I wanted to shoot this is where you guys shot Charlie in the
in the empty factories.
Yeah, in the empty factory. But then even my dad said that his motorcycle club that's back there had to move out because there's new owners and they're real dicks and all this other kind of stuff. So that would, and plus the areas he found, I feel adds for more depth of field with the like as a backdrop to the character. You know what I mean? Like, he's moving and he's moving along, but what's behind him is almost more interesting than what he is, and you kind of follow the journey that way.
Well, yeah, because I mean, what would make you feel more isolated? Being in an empty field or forest where you're going to be isolated, or in a city or an industrial place where there should be people or other things hustling, bustling around, but there's nothing. That makes me feel more isolated than anything.
Yeah, it's what makes me feel isolated? A pandemic. I'm kidding. But no, I was telling everybody, because somebody asked earlier in the comments about being scared because of everything going on and shooting. And I was like, look, here's the way. Everybody on set is going to be vaccinated. If you have to get super close to somebody, like one of you is going to wear a mask. You know what I mean? Like, so when I'm in there dealing with the actors, I'm going to have a mask on because it'd be pointless to have them put masks on while you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's only for crew that's going to be.
Yeah. And I'm going to be we're very, very, I mean, we actually, and I'm not going to say names, but I actually kind of got told off by somebody because I requested everybody be vaccinated. And the person was just like, well, I'll get a test 24 hours before. That doesn't mean anything because, once you take the test, you've got all that time to be catching it.
Yeah.
I'm not Hello, Christy. How's it going?
It's all based on like making it feel safe for people. And that's the thing is we'll make sure. I've been on several productions this year, not big ones, but just, local ones, and it has been, we've been able to work around the COVID issues and making sure that everything's safe. So that's, everything's been safe.
And plus we're going to be a very small crew, and David's beating somebody up.
Yeah, usually I am.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he's very quiet actually this time. I feel like it's not the normal Dave because it's usually talking quite a bit more.
I mean, somebody ask his penis how it's doing, because if he's beating something up. Anywho,
this on my phone.
Gotcha.
That makes
a slightly larger charger, longer, anyways.
Oh,
that's working.
I was just giving you a tough time. You didn't have to jump to video.
I know it's okay. You're giving me a tough time, but now I have to prove someone wrong, and it's going to be Mike.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy to prove me wrong. Like, has anybody talked to me recently? Like, you can prove me wrong every day. So.
Oh, that's fair. That's fine.
I'm going to leave the studio for 10 seconds so I can come back on.
Okay. But yeah, no, I think that this is a good ending to the trilogy. And like I told people, this isn't the end of becoming undead just because the shorts are done, because there is still feature, and the problem with the feature, and I'm like, again, full disclosure, is I started writing it after I'll Be Right Behind You came out, which and I'm not just I'm tooting my own horn here. I understand that, but when I'll Be Right Behind You came out, I was super happy with the way it turned out for it just being a one shot thing, via Skype. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, if I can pull this off, give me a fucking budget. But anyway, so I started writing the feature for that was essentially encapsulating aspects from all the Becoming Undeads, where and they're so short that when you're watching them, it feels like it's longer, but when you take just the elements out of it and change them up a little bit, But I was writing it, and about middle of last year, right after I'll Be Right Behind You came out, and then my world kind of fell apart. Let's add him to the stream. Oh, there he is.
Hey, there we go. Now we got that beautiful face. There we go.
Now we got that beautiful bean footage.
Here, look at that. Oh yeah.
Did you get a haircut?
No.
Did you cut your hair?
It's
no?
just
No, you didn't.
It's just gross because I've been wearing a hat all day.
Well, that's what happens when you do the day job.
That's fact.
I'm actually in my day job clothes and in the spot that I do my day job, so getting paid to masturbate is great. But I do. But yeah, so I started writing the script for it, and it kind of, I'll tell you the gist of it later, but I started writing it having the guy in mind from the movie, and I was writing it for him with my, with him in mind, and then everything happened for me, that you all know, you guys know at least. And I kind of just didn't want to write anything. And then I did Who Will Watch You Die. And I figured, okay, well, I'll be able to write now. But then I started getting texts from people that are changing their rates and everything. And when someone that you were writing something for says to you, hey, I want XYZ money, and you look at it and you add it up for how, because I think I sent you the treatment for this, Mike. The one that you said would take, if we shot it all the way through, it would take 2 to 3 weeks. We could pull it off because it's a bottle movie.
Yeah, I think we could do it in 16, 17 days. And that would give a little buffer for a day or so. The nice thing is because it's self-contained in nice locations.
Right. And the problem was though, when they asked for as much as they were asking for, that would be our budget. And it's like, it's not worth it. What's going on, Chumbawampa?
There we go.
All right.
Yeah, let's talk to Dave. He's now back on. Hi.
So now, what? Now, okay. Well, let me hear from you guys, because I've said it till I'm purple in the face, and to the point where I had a doctor tell me you need to calm down. Why do you think people should donate to this production? At the link right there.
Oh, there's a link there.
Can I go, Mike? Oh, yeah.
Go for it. Go for it, Dave. Go for it. You go for it, Dave. I'm yielding to you, sir.
Fantastic. It's a local production. It's a beautiful short story, which is excellent, especially nowadays with social media platforms being the way they are. People don't have the attention spans they used to, and that's okay. So it's a beautiful short story that we get to tell through the medium of horror and through Western and through drama. And I think it's something that we should definitely just, as a community, push for, to have a great local filmmaker produce that, and have some great local filmmakers get to collaborate on.
My whole thing is, I'm hiding that for just a sec because I got to change. I got to get something out of there. I just need the link so I can post it in the chat. But I just want a budget, God damn it. You know what I mean? Like, I think with For Sale, as good as For Sale was, I think if we actually had a budget on it, it would have been better because we could have hired a sound guy. But sorry, I got this horrible cough, and it's called shitty audio. It's a disease that the doctor prescribed. It's nothing that the DP or the director or the fantastic editor could have fixed, despite all of the magic that are in their hands. But But so if you want to donate, here is the link to the Indiegogo. Boom.
It's always better, and I guess the best way to break it down for people would be, you may have great golfers, but if you give them a Titleist or a special golf club, they're going to do their work so much better. And that's the thing, is that we need the tools to be able to make it look better. We have the skills, and that's not being cocky or anything. It's like we do have the ability, but if we have the equipment that would make it look so much better, that's where it's going to help. And making sure that we can, cast the right talent, so that we have, the right characters being portrayed. It's things like that. Like, the budget is to make us so we can do our best job.
Right. Exactly. And the things, I mean, and if you look at like what we did with For Sale,
Yeah.
I mean, and that was done for next to nothing. I don't know how much the snacks were, but.
Well, and to clarify for that, like, I'm not getting paid for this, and this is not. The only thing is for gear and for actors.
Yeah.
Making sure that we have what we need. So it's not like. I want to clarify. It's not like we're actually making money on this. It's just being able to make it. That's what we need.
This is going to be one of those films that it's going to be I feel, and this and Mike and Dave will back me up on this. I am not an optimistic person in the slightest. But I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those films that people want on their calling cards, like on their reels, because it's going to look amazing. It's going the acting, from what I can have gathered, is going to be great. The story is fantastic. I'm not just tooting my own horn, but toot toot. So I feel like this is going to be, I never feel that way about my films. Like, this is the one, but for some reason, it feels like it's the one, and I just really want to, get it made. I want to put an 11-year, a bandage on the 11-year-old gaping wound that is, well, what's next for Becoming Undead? I've had people say to me, "Oh, well, you're going back to the well again." I'm like, no, I had the script for Becoming Undead 3 long before Kevin Smith had his heart attack and decided he had to make Clerks 3. And it's just like, I've had people say I'm going back to the well. I've had people say, well, what's next? And I just feel like I have to get this. You know what? I think it's kind of a mental block. And if I don't get this one made, I'll never be able to move on to a feature, because this is always in the back of my head.
I wouldn't specifically say that. And I wouldn't let people say that you're going back to the well. The thing is that you can go back to the well as many times as a person wants. And I think you can, as long as you keep it creative and as long as the story is different and unique enough. And I guess I would just kind of forget the naysayers that are saying you go back to the well. Like, so who cares? Like, how many Fast and the Furious movies are there? I mean, let's be honest. People still see them. People still enjoy them. Are they good? Not really. Not the best. But they still keep going back to the same well. Like, I don't know. It's difficult enough to make a short film, let alone a feature film. And that's when people need the support of everybody that's around them in order to get it done. Because it's not an easy thing. Like, people think you can just throw up a camera and go.
David suddenly becoming Brian De Palma.
Exactly. There's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot more to.
There will be no Dutch angles on this stream, sir.
But I'm good at Dutch angles.
Well, we'll
see.
Fair enough. But no, I totally, yeah, and that's the thing is, I remember, a while ago, a friend of mine was like, "Oh, well, these are just little teaser things. They're not actual films." Like, no, they're actual films. And then they finally saw one. They never actually sat down to watch it. And then they saw one and they were like, gee, and in fact, it was For Sale. And they saw it at the premiere. You weren't there, were you, David?
I was not, no.
And Mike, you were late.
Sorry, I was working.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying. But I'm trying to remember how everything was. Non-supportive asshole. No, I'm just kidding. But That person watched it and they were like, I had no idea that all that little stuff. See, to them, it looked like we were doing just a little bit of stuff when we were shooting that day. They didn't realize how it looked at the end. How much work goes into it. People don't seem to understand that. So.
I mean, and we crammed that into 4.5 hours.
And how long was the script? 9 pages?
Yeah, and
let me look.
The nice thing is that we, for people to know, we kind of lit generally. We made some harsh lighting decisions just to kind of suit whatever angle that I needed to be in. So we made some liberties. If we had a bigger budget, we could have had more of a crew, and we could have had the location for longer. But I'm glad that we had it for what we did. But again, it's back to budget. Like, that's why I'm excited for this one to have, some people investing into it. So it'll be great.
Exactly. It'll be, and I mean, you get a lot of cool stuff. You get, no matter what, even for the smallest amount, you get a copy of the film. And being completely honest about everything, if we have funds left after we take care of the actors and the gear and everything like that, we're going to save that money and use it for festival entries, because another thing people don't seem to realize is festival entries are ridiculously expensive. Yes.
There
you go. Yeah. I remember when, I don't know what got into me, but I remember when the first Becoming Undead came out and there was a bunch of write-ups and, Dread Central did their thing. And I was just like, oh my God, that's it. Fuck it. I'm sending it to Sundance. Biggest mistake of my life. But that was $75 to submit a short to Sundance. And that was back in 2010. So, I mean, who knows what it is now.
Well, it's still expensive. I mean, relatively speaking. I know it's over 75. But that does take, that takes money. It takes, I don't know. I think that's why this will be a different project. It'll be good. It'll be really good.
I have faith in the team that is assembled. And the beautiful part is there are certain things that make it just like the original Becoming Undeads, with the I'll have to look for it later. What was it like? How there's no dialogue. This one is a little different because if you pay close attention, there will be one line. You got to pay attention, though. You got to pay attention.
Oh yeah. And what I really like is that it's going to be thematically a Western, and I'm a huge fan of Westerns.
Yeah, I used to make fun of Westerns all the time because my dad loved them. But I started watching them because my old teacher, James Nyber, or Jim, I don't know, whatever. He's like, if you want to appreciate film and you want to be a better filmmaker, you got to watch everything. You can't just, and like, okay. So he started me on this list of older films to watch. Like, I never thought I would ever enjoy the film Bringing Up Baby with Cary Grant and one of the, which
Katharine
one?
Hepburn.
Yeah, Katharine Hepburn. I had no idea that I would like. Yeah, and it's out on Criterion now, and I'm like, oh, I got to pick that up, Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks. That's a movie I liked on myself. That was just that's such a good fucking movie. But yeah, so I started watching these older Westerns, and like I saw The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance and The Searchers, and Red River. And I really John Wayne's the type of person that you really, 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 really have to separate the person from the performances because of everything. Like, you see the articles from the 70s and Playboy and all that, but you can do that with him because he wasn't getting busted for roofing people. But no, and so and then not only that, but The Searchers. Now, have either of you watched Breaking Bad? No.
First season.
The last episode, and I'm not spoiling anything when I say this, but the last episode, Vince Gilligan has said that it is 100% inspired by The Searchers.
So should I watch that?
Yeah, that is just an amazing fucking show. It's so good, and thematically speaking, that's kind of like where I guess we're going with the look of it. Because I sent it. I don't think I sent it to Dave, but I sent it to you, Mike. That picture of like the exteriors, like the desert exteriors for Breaking Bad. And well, if you've seen the first season, you know what I'm talking about. The color palette that they had for that. That's kind of like where the greens really want. I really want the greens to pop because that's exactly what because they won't look. They'll look out of place because they're everything is dead around it type of thing. If that makes sense. So
that makes sense.
But yeah,
we can make it look that way. We'll make it work.
But
yeah, I'll end up watching that. I'll end up only watching last episode. I can't get in the series. Sorry.
There's another one though. At the once you watch the last episode, if you watch the movie that took place, El Camino, it's totally shot like a Western, and it's a lot of this stuff took place in Albuquerque, so it's right there for
The nice thing about Westerns too, and we're talking about like the background and the environment being its own character, they always show that.
Right.
They always show the grandiose nature of it, the beauty that's around it, or the desolation that's around it when they're in a desert. Like they don't hesitate to show that, and that's why I think that they're some of the most beautifully shot type of movies when you get to the Western genre.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if Dave would agree with me on that or
no, 100%.
Like
Color High Water is one of the best modern westerns I've ever seen. So
I still need to watch that. I still need to watch that.
It's great.
I have it.
It's fantastic.
What was it? The not to go back to the Searchers, but when they're going through the desert and going through all the elements and everything, trying to hunt her down, it looks amazing, and it's like the exterior. They're telling a story too. You know what I mean? And it's just so it's just yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's going to come together nicely. So
I'm very excited for this. Oh, and that's another thing. When it comes to like, if you look at the Indiegogo page, it says that delivery of the short itself is October 31st. So I thought about that, and I know Dave's got some stuff coming up. So we're gonna have to see how that pans out. But if the movie's done before October 31st, you'll get it on October 31st. But if it's done after, you'll get it immediately upon it being completed. You will be the only person with the film because we are going to be shipping it off to festivals first. And I'm also trying to work on a deal with a film company to see if they can pitch any money in for like exclusive streaming rights for a little bit, which I think would be okay. Or at least until they make the money back for it. So we'll see what happens there. They're notorious for not getting back to me. So if anybody wants to drive to New York, Long Island City to be exact, we'll have a little chat with Uncle Lloyd. But anyway, yeah, I mean you can donate for as little as $5 and be able to at least have a copy of the film, and then you can say that you had something before everybody else did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll all have it before you, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have it before everyone else.
Yeah, you will.
Well, I'll have it before everybody else.
I already have it. I already have it.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I'll have the visual half of it.
And that's another thing. Music. The person who did the music for Who's Gonna Watch You Die and for Indoor Air is back to do the music for this. And there was a specific song I had in mind for this. Do you think I can say what the name of the song is?
Sure.
It shouldn't matter.
Oh,
all right. As I'm putting the movie together in my head, the only song I can think of before the climax of the film, which this would not fit for at all I can think of is I Fall to Pieces by Patsy Cline. Now, think of that. Now, you guys have read the script, but if you hear that, as you get those long, it fits. And obviously, we don't have the money for that at all. But I know, you're not getting paid, Dave. You're not getting paid.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh shit! This is news to me.
Yeah, well, unless Mike's gonna pay you with some lovin's.
It's cat food for dinner again.
Yeah, that's fine. Or like Trailer Park Boys when Ricky's eating Bubbles' cat treats. He's like, "Are you sure these are cat treats?"
Those are expensive. We can't get those here.
That's too expensive. There's nothing. I don't have a budget for that one.
For rich people.
No one has the budget for cat treats.
No.
But so so it's one of those situations, and so my friend Matt Vollmer, who is he has a degree in music and he has his own YouTube channel, and he's a big fan of baritone guitar, which is essentially what they use a lot in older country. Like if you heard the original Wichita Lineman by Glenn Campbell, that part of it's in there. It's like a 6-string bass essentially, but it sounds like a guitar. And he's going to be taking over duties on that, and he's going to be kind of not reworking the song, but he's going to write like our own version of it, essentially. Because I did some research on this, and you have to alter every 5th note so you won't get in trouble.
Okay, that's too complicated for me. Like I just, yeah.
Oh, I understand what's going on, but I could never do it. I'm just like, yeah, no, no, yeah. But yeah. So, but it's gonna be cool. We're gonna have a song very similar to that sounding. And he's like, "Do you mind if it's instrumental?" I'm like, "No, I expect you to hit the high notes like Patsy." So he's having a cat. He's being castrated, just for the production. So his wife's okay with it.
Oh, there you go. As long as they're fine with it, I'm bored.
Well, that's as long as she's good with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest, and she doesn't have to put out, so it's okay. But oh, I'm sorry, Matt. But no, it's I'm really looking forward to getting this made. And again, if you want to donate, here is the link to the Indiegogo on Monday.
It's below, right there.
Yep, and the chat too now. And Monday I will be posting another video with intro about Becoming Undead 2 to build up. And then at some point the supercut's coming out.
This week.
Hey, this week? Okay. Please don't finger me, sir. I've been to that doctor. Okay, thumb me, that's fine, but don't finger me. Wrong way. You were going after the logo, Mr. Detterman, sir. Okay, that's better. No. But yeah, this is going to be a fantastic film. I'm super excited for it. In fact, as of tomorrow, we shoot in a month. So,
wow.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it. But
quick.
Yeah, so next week, Mike and I, we are doing the 24th still, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next week, we are going to go to the location, and we are going to try setting up. We're going to try getting like visual storyboards. So all we have to do is we know where we're headed when the time comes. Yeah, I'm very excited, and I hope more people decide to donate because it's totally going to be worth their while. See, that's the thing is people think that you can just get money to make a short film from like a studio, but you can't because there's almost 99% of the time no return whatsoever on them.
Unless your name is David F. Sandberg.
David F. Sandberg. You know what's funny? It's funny you mentioned that. But are you familiar with the company that he won the contest through for Lights Out, the short film Lights Out? They're called Bloody Cuts.
I've heard of them. I don't. Yeah.
I'm actually friends with the founding members of Bloody Cuts, and they're the ones that did the what the fuck is the name? It's a web series. Oh, The Birch. But they're kind of like big names in the indie horror. Yeah, they're British.
Okay.
But they're it's just like
They're
it's
British.
British.
We don't hold that against them. That's fine.
No, that's fine. Yeah. But they were making like
I'm
little
holding it
shorts.
against them.
I don't know. I've seen some British women that I'd like to hold something against.
Oh my.
Heyo. But yeah, they were able to secure funding to make like 5-10 minute shorts, and they look super professional. And so I don't know what to say to that. But
Again, you give them the budget to be able to get the toys to make it look the way you need.
oh yeah, because I think they shot stuff on a red and all this other kind of stuff, and it's and it's but the thing is I'm having a hard enough time dealing with trying to fund a short. I can only imagine what's going to happen when it comes to a feature. That'll be different, I think, though.
It's different, yes.
Because I think
you can money back on a feature. It's harder to do that with a short.
Right.
And people like to say that their names are attached to like a big, movie. And shorts are short, they're smaller movies, so it's harder to get people to be really interested. But then they did get Zachary Levi to do a short not too long ago during the pandemic. Mike, do you remember what that was called?
No, I do not. I'm trying to remember. Wait, I know it's. Is it Replacement? No, it's the. Oh, I do not know. I do not remember now.
Well, whatever it is. It was really smart sci-fi, so even if you do a short, you still have the option to do it well with, minor tools. And, if your idea is to get funding for later, just shoot it as best you can and, use it as an example of what you can do. Now imagine what I can do with more money.
Well, exactly. And I think it's actually more of a challenge to tell a good story in a short format than having 90 minutes or even longer to tell a story. I mean, it's you definitely have to have a little bit more skill and be more creative and I guess more divisive.
Well, for the people who are here, I'm going to show Becoming Undead 2 right now. It's only 2 minutes and some odd seconds, so it's not like it's going to take up too much time. But this is what
TikTok.
Yeah. All right. Relax, Clock King. But it's just kind of like to show you. Okay, we did this. There was no money involved whatsoever. Tom Emmerich and Ashley Rawson made the dolly that we used for the one shot. And the location was my dad's house, and I'll tell a funny story about that afterwards. But this is Becoming Undead 2. This is the Rondo Hatton nominated one. Yes, exactly. Watch it just like that, just like Dave's watch. Exactly. So, all right, we'll be right back. there you go. And by the way, those faces you were making, I was pretty much the only one that could see them.
That's fine.
So,
as long as someone saw them.
Yeah, no problem, Fire Marshal Bill. I figure I better put on a hat since everybody else had one on.
Take it off, Mike.
What was that?
Oh,
no, don't take your hat off. Don't take your hat off, Mike. Please don't.
What? There you go.
Anywho,
it's messy here.
Yeah,
it's messy here.
But if you are so inclined, please be sure to hit the donating. Here's the link. It's in the chat. I know these fine gentlemen have things that they have to do, like I don't know, fondle their dinghies or something.
Yeah, usually.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. To be
I gotta get
fair.
stuff for another project actually.
I have to finish my rewatch of Breaking Bad for the 4th time.
I'm gonna watch the last episode. I'm gonna try and do that before I go to sleep. How long are they usually? An hour?
This one is, let me see, it might be a little bit longer because it's the finale. But where is it? And what sucks is Better Call Saul season 5 is on like every other country's Netflix but ours. So I can't get to. Where is it? It is 55 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, maybe.
When you watch it though, and you get to that the last sequence, you're gonna be like, "Holy shit, this is amazing! I want to watch the whole thing." Last shot is fucking brilliant.
So I'll fast forward to the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
sure.
10.
Okay.
And then I'll watch from there.
All right, you do that.
I know me.
You do that.
I'm a monster.
You are. It's horrible. I'm so ashamed to know you. I'm kidding. Whatever.
That's fine.
Plus, okay, I'm just going to lay this out there, everybody. If you can't trust a guy who was written up in Fangoria and Dread Central to make a good movie with your money, then go watch another Transformers picture. There, I said
Don't do that. Even if don't do that.
Hey, they're good though. They're all good.
That. No, Mike. No, Mike.
Michael?
It's hard enough to make a film. It's hard enough to make a film.
No, Mike.
Those aren't films. Those are commercials.
True.
You know, and it's just. Oh, by the way, they wrapped on the reboot. They wrapped shooting on the reboot of Toxic Avenger. I'm pretty excited about that. Macon Blair directed that, and he is the he was the lead in the movie Blue Ruin. If you want to see something amazing, watch that movie, Blue Ruin. Or the guy who did Blue Ruin also did The Green Room. I don't know if anybody's seen that about the Nazis and the punks. Yeah, same director that did Blue Ruin. Yep, that movie was fucking great, and it was visceral without being gory. And plus you get to see a punk band in a Nazi bar singing the Dead Kennedys classic Nazi Punks Fuck Off.
Can't beat that. No,
you can't. You know what else you can't beat? Taking a nap, which is what I'm going to do. So I want to thank you both for being on. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please donate if you can. Share the link if you can't. Send out the good juju and so forth. Yeah, it's going to be a rough week for me going forward, but we'll be okay. Yes, this guy. And then the link's down there. But I honestly, I've finally started to come around to the thought that there's a good things a coming. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of good thing. And we're crushing each other's heads, I suppose. I'm crushing your head. Crush. But yeah, but all right, I'm going to drop you guys down and I'll bring you back up in just a minute because I want to talk to you about something. And I'm going to say goodbye to everybody else. Just hold on 1 second. Don't go nowhere. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we will see you down the road or whatever the hell people say.